know if you know, my mom passed away at childbirth 9 days after having me. I don't know my father. Never met him. Nobody don't know him. Going to jail. If you went up north and you survived and you came home with no scratches, you was tough. Taking that love that you'll find in the house, finding it in the street.
Of
you know what I'm saying?
man.
I had friends that they mothers I wish was my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I had
definitely.
friends that I wish was my family, or you know, what they had in their household, I could have had. You know what I'm saying? So it hit a light switch. It did something to me, and it affected me because my daughter needed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My daughter needed me. I wasn't there. I was beating myself up. Even when I had my downs, I feel blessed because where I was 2.5 years ago, it was a dark place.
Then what was the turning point that you really said and looked in the mirror and said, I'm done with this. I'm never coming back here?
I think the turning point for me is
Welcome to another powerful episode of Off the Count Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Abreu, founder of Made Up North, a movement built on freedom, redemption, and second chances. If you've been following this movement and been locking in with these episodes, then you already know that this platform is all about shedding light on individuals who didn't let the prison experience break them, but they used that second chance to redefine themselves. And today, they're the best version of themselves possible. They resemble growth, they resemble change, and most importantly, they resemble the foundation of this movement, which is that they are off the count and making it count. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest today, my good brother, Nate. Nate, thank you so much for popping through, man. I appreciate you, man.
It's all love. It's all love, big bro. It's all love.
Yeah, man. It's been a long time coming, you know,
Definitely
so
have.
I'm happy you came through. And, you know, before we even dive into all the good things, all the positive things you got going on today, you know, Nate. Like I said, honor to have you here. I was just going through my messages, you know, when I was prepping for this interview, and I seen that it actually makes a year since we first connected, but today is actually the first time that we met in person. So definitely appreciate you taking the time so you can share your story, because you know that's what it's about, man. Having brothers and sisters on this platform to show the world, you know, that change is possible, that growth is possible, that prison, you know, is either gonna make you or break you, and the decision is yours. So before we dive into Nate, who you are today, take me back to Nate growing up, your younger years. Like, what kind of upbringing you had, and how did that play, you know, a factor in certain choices, decisions you made that unfortunately led you to prison and prison life?
I mean, first and foremost, I want to give you your props. I appreciate you for bringing me up here.
Thank you, brother.
Get to that first. You know, this platform, Off the Count, is a good thing for dudes outside and that's incarcerated. You know, you spreading positive information out there, and that's what's up. I really appreciate you, big bro.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Because it take a lot to do this.
Definitely, man.
Tell you
I appreciate
now.
That.
Everybody say they could do it until it's time to get in front of that camera and really talk that talk and walk that walk.
Yeah, man. You know, I appreciate that. You heard, Nate?
Nah, no problem. But basically growing up in the 80s, it was like every other family, African, Spanish, brown, you know, all colors, nationality. I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm from Flatbush. I kind of grew up in the 90s, East Flatbush. What could I say? It was the 80s. It was hard times. It was hard times,
right?
Yeah. So basically, how I could say it is, I mean, like, where you want me to start? I know I ain't worrying about that, but where you want me to
like your upbringing? You know, like what age? How old were you when you started having your run-ins with the Lord? You know, like, and how did you know your circle around you play a part? You know, like in that, you know, like how did it influence, you know, certain choices that kind of led to you going to prison?
I want to say the time I, you know, started, you know, running into the Lord, getting in trouble, I probably was like maybe 8, 9. Back then, like I said, it was the 80s. They had me on medication. I guess I had behavior problems. I felt left out, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, my mom passed away at childbirth 9 days after having me. I don't know my father. Never met him. Nobody don't know him that I know so far. None of my family members. And I want to say it was because
Trauma, some trauma,
yeah,
yeah.
basically trauma. Not just having nobody, just taking that love that you'll find in the house,
Of
finding
course.
it in the street.
Of
You know what I'm
course,
saying? I
man.
had friends that they mothers I wish was my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I had
definitely.
friends that I wish was my family, or they what they had in their household, I could have had. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things played
A factor.
a factor. Yes, a lot of things played the factor, and the choices I made in life, from a young age. Because, like I said, I didn't get no affection in my household from a young age. Like I said, I felt like an outcast. Everybody had their moms, everybody had their fathers. So I tended to look for love in the street. You know what I mean? So I say around like 8, 9, I started getting in trouble with the law. Juvenile, started going to juvenile, like, get. Oh man, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, big
Well,
bro.
nah, it's cool. When
I'm sorry.
when was Nate the first
Let
time
me
that you like went away to do time, that you went away to do a bid?
The first time I went away to do a bid, like an actual bid,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
talking about like just getting locked up and going through the prison system
Yeah,
or the booking
yeah, like when was the first time you went through the system, but when was the first time you went up north?
up north? The first time I went up north through the system, I think I was like 20 years old. I got locked up for grand larceny and
Mm-hmm.
possession of stolen property, some credit cards. I ended up doing a 1 to 3.
All right.
For the most, I thought it was a joke. Like I said, I ran the streets from a young age. Nobody
Yeah.
showed me nothing, showed me any better, and I did what everybody else was doing. I made some poor choices. I ended up going up north, catching a 1 to 3, like I said, and uh,
How
uh
was that experience though for you, like at an early age? Back then, you like you said, you probably didn't really, not that you ain't care, you young, you probably thinking this ain't nothing.
yeah.
I'ma breeze through this, come home. Like you wasn't ready to change and become who you are today.
Well, for the most, yes, you're absolutely right. I could say that. I thought it was a piece of cake. It was fun to go up north. Everybody glorified like going to jail. If you went up north and you survived and you came home with no scratches, you was tough.
Yeah, and I'm
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
glad you actually
You
pointing that
you was
out.
tough. So it was like a trend for us young generation to see big brothers like y'all go to
Hmm.
jail and get y'all weight up and get tatted. You get what I'm saying?
Of
And
course.
come home with the size, and it's like, oh, yo, you ain't hear about such and such. He was up north putting it in. And then you
Hmm.
come home, now your name get even bigger. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was like a trend. It was like a fashion thing. So I want to say I prepared myself for it.
Yeah.
Like, if I get locked up,
Hmm.
how being young and we have talks, if I get locked up, this
Of
what I'm gonna do if
course.
I get locked up.
Hmm.
This what I'm gonna
Hmm.
do if I hit old boy and I get in the
Yeah.
house. The phone is mine until you actually experience it and you see it's real.
It's real,
You
man.
see.
And Nate, like I know kind of just to let the listeners and the viewers out there, like I said earlier when we started, we had connected a year ago. And the way we connected, I don't know if you remember, Nate, I was on TikTok one night. I'm at home and I came across one of your videos. I see you with your hard hat on.
Yeah.
I don't know, you was in the middle of your lunch break or whatnot, but God wanted me to see this video.
Yes,
And I'm
sir.
seeing you speaking, like dropping real jewels. And you know how you say you can't fake it? You can't fake it or make it because it's gonna catch up on you. And I always tell people you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yes.
I heard you speaking and I saw right through you, like, yo, he's serious, bro. He's
Yes.
really serious and committed to change. Like you was
Yes.
on that video with your hard hat saying,
Yeah.
yo, I'm here, I'm working, and this is what it means to me. Like, I'm never gonna put myself in a position
Yes,
anymore to
sir.
leave my kids. And
Yeah.
how you just told me that it takes a lot of courage for me to do what I'm doing. I want to big you up because it takes a lot of courage to do that, especially coming from where we come from. Sometimes people, instead of applauding our growth
Yes.
and change, they look at us different. So I commend you on that. So what was like the turning point? I know you just came home from doing 7.5.
Yes.
That was the big one, right, Nate?
Yes.
How was that experience? And what was the turning point that you really said and looked in the mirror and said, I'm done with this. I'm never coming back here.
I think the turning point for me is, being a good person and just, always getting to it and helping people and just, wanting to see moms win and then getting incarcerated to see nobody around.
Yeah.
Like that hurt. That hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
That really hurt. So I feel like that was really the turning point. I hung with dudes that I put my life on the line for. You know what I mean? We did mad stuff together. We shared clothes. We ate food. We shared money. We did everything together. And then to get locked up and to see, that's when you see who's really in your corner, meaning everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everything play a factor. You know what I mean? And I felt like that was it. That wasn't it. This wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want that no more. I wanted change. I wanted growth. Yeah. I wanted elevation. I wanted boss. I was around there. I was in there. I was with grown men that was showing me how to step. I needed that. I never had nobody. So at the same time, it was hard for me, but it was a big lesson learned.
Of course.
The biggest lesson in my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's really it.
And I'm glad you sharing that, Nate, part of your story, because that's what I try to, tell these people out there, especially the youth, through my platform. They out here doing all types of crazy nonsense, risking their life. And look, we just hearing it firsthand from yourself. And I could co-sign that. When you up there, the people you think is really going to be there for you, they ain't nowhere to be found. Yeah. No letters, no visits, no nothing.
At all.
It's
funny because I want to say something. All my friends now, genuine friends, is actually dudes I met incarcerated that went home before me, that checked on me.
That stayed in contact with you.
You know how that feel for somebody that you never met a day in your life, to be with them 24/7, to go home and keep their words more than your man, your family. That was tough.
Of course, man. It's deep. Tough. It's deep. Like you said, when you in that setting, you see who's who, and that's what I like to, try to shed light on those things through this platform, man, because my whole mission is to try to help brothers and sisters coming home, stay home. Yeah. My mission is to help the youth avoid prison, get to them before the youth does. So this is why, I appreciate brothers like you keeping it raw and real on this platform, and sharing your truth. You came home, right, Nate? What were some of your biggest challenges, though, throughout, those 6 to 12 months when you came home from prison after doing 7.5? Like, what were some of your challenges and how were you able to overcome them?
Some of my challenges was finding a job. That was the main thing. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't want nothing to do with the streets. I didn't even want nothing to do kind of with society because I was scared.
Of course.
Not scared of somebody doing something to me, but scared of my freedom getting taken away again, my life taken away again, losing my kids, losing my bed, losing just this air, just different up there. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
So man, a lot of stuff triggered me to just do the right thing. My biggest obstacle was, like I said, finding a job. It's hard. I never graduated high school.
Yeah.
I'm smart. Everything I learned how to read in prison.
Yeah.
I learned how to write in prison. You know how? From females sending me letters. I had to respond back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So not having an education coming home, not having a high school diploma, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things play the fact. Not having a license, a lot of things play the fact. So the biggest obstacle for me was finding a job.
But look, I'm glad you shared that because you actually wasn't even in prison just, bullshitting. You was actually doing things to better yourself.
Yes, yes, sir.
You learn how to read.
Yes,
sir. You built yourself up to the person you are right now. And employment, I say it all the time, is definitely the number one contributing factors to recidivism. One thing I just shared a few days ago on my platform, Nate, I don't know if you've seen it, is like one of the biggest factors that, really hurts most reentry journeys for individuals is pride and ego, feeling like they're too good to ask for help. Yeah. And again, I want to give you your flowers now that you're speaking on employment, because, bro, now I got to keep it real. Just a few weeks ago, you tapped in with me, bro. You were like, yo, Jay, I'm looking for a job right now. You got any job opportunities? Facts. And I sent you a page, whatever. Facts. You feel me? Facts. And even now, when we were setting up the interview, you were like, yo, Jay, Sunday works for me because, it's my only day off. Yes, so now, first and foremost, I'm happy that now you are working again, but most importantly, because you wasn't scared to reach out and ask for help. And sometimes dudes coming home, they think that they still have this image. Nah, I can't ask for help.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad, you took that initiative because it shows how serious you are about your freedom. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like every man should have a job, bro. After it's nothing left in the streets. And besides, nobody not doing nothing with the money. You want to make the money to buy jewelry, to buy clothes, to take trips. What about investing? Like, we don't care. Like, you seen how I just told you how it was for me in the 80s growing up. Why would I want my kid or my mother or just me just going through that?
Yeah, of course.
We don't got it's no time to be wasting money or to be out there getting money and just doing whatever. If you gonna get the money, do something with it.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And I always see you on your platform, Nate, like you always speak daily about your kid, man, and about your family. And
yes, sir.
And I'm just highlighting that because a lot of people think that when we go away, it's about us, man. But what kind of, what kind of role did you being in prison, how did that affect, your wife, your kids, man?
Well, for my kids, I ain't gonna lie, that I feel like I said, that was the turning point. Cause like I said, I know what I went through growing up.
Yeah.
So to leave my daughter at a young age and watch her grow during the teen, that shit fucked me up, bro.
Of course, man.
That shit really, it did something to me. You know what I mean? It hit a light switch. It did something to me. And it affected me because my daughter needed me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My daughter needed me. I wasn't there. I was beating myself up. I'm smarter than that. You know what I mean?
And that's what matters, that you was able to recognize that. And now you doing everything possible, to stay committed to your freedom, to your growth. And, we got to definitely keep bigging that up. Now, to kind of dive in, Nate, I know, like I said earlier, you do have a lot of positive things going on out here, a lot of good things. I just seen you recently, you kicked off a brand that you getting ready to launch, right? The Rich Bum.
Rich Bum, yeah.
And you also have the Blueprint Talk, like a page.
Rich Bum.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Rich Bum is just, the definition behind Rich Bum is I've been up and I've been down. Now it's time to put the blueprint in line with everything.
Yeah.
I seen it from both sides.
Of course, you lived it.
I seen it from both sides. So like I said, if I was smart to do half of the things I was doing to get the money, I could take that and turn that into a legit thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could turn that in. They got phones. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got all types of things now. It's not hard no more. It's not rocket science.
And coming from a place that we came from, Nate, I think you could agree, we done met some of the smartest people in prison. I say it all the time, man. Prison has some of the most smartest, most creative individuals. And if you come home and apply that same energy that you was applying to when you was hustling, when you was ripping and running out here, imagine what you could do, man. The opportunities is limitless, man.
No, that's a fact.
That's a fact. And like you being home now, having this whole new mindset, you walking a straight line, Nate, you doing positive things, right? You have a brother that's incarcerated right now, right?
Yes.
Casanova.
Yes.
Big Casanova. Free Casanova, man.
Free Casanova. Free my heart, man. Real talk.
Definitely, man. Like, so I want to know, like, I know you told me one time we spoke, speak to him on the daily. What kind of support you've been giving him and some of the things that you been talking to him about to kind of get him ready also for when he comes home?
Well, I feel like when you in that situation, just going in, my brother got sentenced to 15 years. You're not trying to hear nothing in the beginning, So you want to make sure you tell a person everything, not everything they want to hear, but you want to kind of comfort them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, the support I give him is just, just stay strong, bro. It's a lesson learned.
Of course, man.
I mean, everything is written. I feel like sometimes things in life happen for a reason. It could be a long, he got 15 years. I got 8 years. I was looking at 12.
Yeah.
I was looking at 12 in Manhattan and 6 in Brooklyn ran consecutive.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So God, through the grace of God, I beat my Brooklyn case and took the 8 in Manhattan. But I just, advice, I just tell them to take it one day at a time, man. Get your life together, man. Focus, learn. While you
Yeah.
in there, do all the research you have to do. Because when you come back out in this real world, it's serious. You know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
fast things change?
And the New York Minute, man.
So when we incarcerated and you thinking you could do this and you could do that, and your people like, yo, when you come home, you could do this and you could do that. And when you get out here, it's nothing like what they said.
Yeah, of course, man.
But I mean, I try to, like I said, I just try to, motivate him, push him, stay strong, bro. You had a lot of influence. You motivated me. You made me who the person I am.
Yeah.
At the last minute, because I came home and I was almost ready to risk it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to catch myself. So, like I said, I try to give him calm words, like, yo, just stay strong, bro.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a minute. This is the last lap. That's it.
Definitely, man. And I had to ask on that, Nate, because I see your whole mindset shift, and what better than your actual brother, giving you that. So that's actually, very respectable that you are doing. I caught his interview not too long ago, from in there on Wallow.
Yeah.
And he even mentioned it. He was like, Wallow asked him a question. He kept it 100. And that goes back to what me and you were saying before the camera started rolling. Like, a lot of dudes try to front out here and feel like they can't be real because they so caught up what other people are gonna think. And I remember I seen your brother right on the camera say, yo, Wallow, this shit whack, bro.
Nah.
I miss my family, man. I'm trying to be home. So that's why I kind of, asked that question, and that's what's up, that you are giving him that support. So when he touches down, we make sure, he keeps focused, doing what he got to do, and we'll see him here eventually, man, on the platform.
That's a fact. God willing, man.
God willing, yeah.
Picking him up in the jet, man. I'm gonna show dudes how you really boss up. You just gotta put action to them words you speak.
Of course, man. And so that's like the Rich Bum you were saying, don't they? That's your whole brand, right?
Yeah.
That's you, but
so the blueprint is just a structure. I feel like in life, we all need structure. This wasn't put together if you didn't write that down.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's working for you because you actually know the steps by steps how you want to take it.
Of course.
Where you want to take it, how you want to do it. I wouldn't be here. I know I wouldn't be here if you just woke up and said, no, I seen what you had. I seen that it's present. It looked good.
Yeah, definitely, and I always say people just see, like, they see the glory. They don't see the story. Before you pulled up, I was busy in here setting up, like you said, I'm getting ready right now to launch my book in a week, which is also,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's like a blueprint on, to help individuals overcome recidivism, because that's what I felt victim to, and you yourself, we went through the system, came out, and we reoffended. And sometimes I think you could agree, bro, it's not that we don't be having the right intentions.
Yes,
we really have no real support out here, you know, Nate?
At all. I want to say, like I said, back to having a structure and the blueprint, that we tend to feel like we know it all until we crash. The reason why we crashing is we not taking the time to actually go through the proper steps. And we seen people achieve certain things by going through the proper steps.
How is that coming along for you now, though? The blue, I know you've been posting every day, doing videos or whatnot, staying consistent with that.
Well, so it's basically it's going good. It's going good. But I want to tap into people that's really doing things with their life. People that's influenceable, but they don't really know. You know
of course, yeah.
They don't. You don't know that you influence me. What I seen you do, push me. Yeah. What you might see me do might push you.
100%. Yeah. Of course. So, I wanted though, like the times we living in right now, don't they? Like, what's your take on all this youth violence, bro? The youth is they being really misguided out here, man.
I feel like with that, is what's going on. You got older dudes promoting that, and like I said, from a youth, if they have nothing to look up to, then they're not gonna follow. Let's just say we always going to school.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
always taking care of business, doing. What do you think the youth's gonna do?
They're
You
gonna
know what I'm
go to
saying?
school. They're gonna
And
follow.
even if you had some dudes out here like, yo, listen, that's not the dudes that have the influence, yo, that's not what it is, bro. That is real up there. That's not what it is. Dudes is getting popped left and right out here. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
Take care of your family. This is what it look like. This is what you want. What I got. This is what it looked like to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hard work, hard dedication.
You definitely hit the nail right on the head with that, because I just said it not too long ago. You heard? I put a call to action out there in light of, the 13-year-old boy that just got murdered.
Yeah,
I'm
I seen when you posted.
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, listen, man, I'm calling out the old dudes, the OGs. Y'all gotta step up, because it's true. If we had more people stepping up to try to give, a voice of reason, believe me, bro, even like you and I know, Nate, even through the good work you do, what I do, we ain't gonna change the world, but we could help change the world for one person.
Yes.
You feel me? So I definitely agree with you on that, and if you could, like, when you hear Nate off the count and make an account, what does that mean to you?
Off the count mean freedom.
1,000%.
Making an account just mean you made a bad decision that could dictate the rest of how your future end up.
Exactly. 1,000% off the count. When we go home, we off that count, and making it count is it's either you're gonna make a decision to make it count, the daily choices you make ahead, or you're gonna make a decision to crash out. I've seen you before speaking on, like, you just did a video not so long ago, like, advising people out there, like, yo, listen, don't be following the wave, don't be following the trends, and don't be crashing out. Because when you crash out, you already know you by your lonely out here,
That's
bro.
a fact.
Ain't nobody gonna be out here to hold you down and stuff. Only a select few,
Not even that. See, the thing is about crashing out and putting yourself in a bad situation. Once you get in there, you disappear. You get forgetting about.
You a number.
Yeah. And you leaving your loved ones, people that genuine support you, love you. You leaving your kids. You leaving for what?
Yeah.
Or for a name, for a reputation.
For ego. It's true, man. Like, coming from where you came doing those 7.5, Nate, which, again, congrats, you got off of parole. Me too,
Appreciate
both of us.
That. Appreciate
For those that don't know out there what it means to be off papers, me and my good brother Nate right here, funny enough, we both got discharged off papers the same week.
Yeah.
So, big ups to that. Like, what advice can you give, Nate, to any brother or sister right now that may be locked up, may be in a halfway house, and it's just out here, like, bro, feeling hopeless, like, damn, man, like, like, I don't really see nothing happening for me. Like, they might feel like they got, no hope out here. What can you share with them, Nate? Like, any words, man, to try to uplift these brothers and sisters, man, coming home?
You gotta push. You gotta believe in yourself. That's first and foremost. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. You gotta go out there and take it. Nothing at all. Everything since I came home, I took it. I didn't wait for nobody to give me no handouts, no money, no nothing. I wanted a job. I wanted money in my pocket. I don't care if it was paying me $500 a day. I mean, $500 a week. I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting for nobody to give me a chance to. No, I got to believe in myself. I got to push. So you just got to stay consistent. Believe in yourself. Nothing is made easy. And if it is, then it is. But in life, a lot of things ain't made easy. You got to go through it. You got to put in the work. You got to, like I said, actions speak louder than words. You just believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Keep hoping yourself. Push.
1,000%. I agree with you 100% on that. Like, you definitely, you don't need the world to believe in yourself. Matter of fact, you don't need nobody to believe in yourself. As long as you got you, faith, your plan, you gonna make it, man.
I think that's where some people like kind of fall down at, wanting people to believe in them. You can't want nobody to believe in you if you ain't never put no work in, if you ain't never walked that walk. you gotta show people. You see what you doing, big bro. You see what you got here off the count.
Yeah.
You showing people like this is you believe in yourself. You got people believing in you now.
Of course,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Of course.
So you have to put in the work. You gotta put in the footwork.
It's funny you said that because I just seen the other day, you heard Nate, that dude Andy, Andy Frisella, he posted that. He's like, a lot of times people want you, other people to believe in them, but it's like, what have you done? You know, just exactly how you said it. He said it's like, what have you done for people to actually believe in you? And yo, yesterday I had a Zoom meeting regarding, you know, like the whole new setup that I'm gonna have for the podcast. And I opened my notebook. Yo, and it was humbling, you know, Nate, because I came across notes that I was writing all of this plan, this whole name made up north off the count. I was up north, you know, and to actually, you know, come up with this vision and come out here, find my purpose and be standing on it. Yeah. You know, people wouldn't believe it, like you said, man. Some people think that it's not gonna happen overnight, man.
Yeah, it definitely not. For what I want to say for me though, I like to show people. Me going through everything I'm going through, sometimes it's just good for me because it make me and shape me into the man I am today.
Of course.
If I didn't go through certain challenges, I'm not gonna say I'll be weak or defeated like other people, but for me, that's what make me the man I am today. It tells me, yo, get up. But you still doing sleep. It don't matter if you don't got work or if you don't got nothing to do. Get your body active.
Motivate. You know I seen you been up mad early all these days. You heard me?
I'm up. I get up. I get my life together. I write in my book. I put everything I want into the universe.
Of course. You
everything.
Manifest
the first thing I do before I get up, clear my thoughts, drink some water, and I sit at peace for like 30 minutes.
That's dope, man. I do the same. I mean, I do the same thing. I journal, show gratitude, thank God, you know, write in my journal 3 things I'm grateful for. Yeah. What are my plans for the day, for the week. So we definitely on the same page with that. You heard me? That you definitely got to do things like that, man. Like I try to tell people and just like, yo, coming home, I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It's harder. We got it harder than everybody because unfortunately, you know, Nate, you know, that record, it does carry us. Yeah. The social stigma, people, the labeling, oh, he a convict, whatever. But you can either let that break you, or like you just said, it's gonna motivate you. You feel me?
For some, I just want to point this out that while we incarcerated, I feel like we don't really get the help we need. Because imagine being locked up for 15 years, 8 years, 20 years, 25 plus years. Your mental coming home.
Yeah.
It's nothing really for us to come home to.
At all. You know what I'm saying? At all.
It's nothing. So it is kind of hard. So, and I will say this, it's definitely hard. Because even up to this day, I feel like I need somebody that I could talk to, like a therapist or something, because like I just went through a lot of stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you know, I'm glad, you know, real glad that you touched up on that because actually the last guest I had on here from Brooklyn himself, I believe he said he was from East New York. I'm almost positive that's what he said. Dr. Joe Williams. Yeah. He did close to 15 years, you know, true example off the count, making it count. He went to prison. He got his PhD now. He's a sociologist and he does a lot of therapeutic work. Yeah. And on my platform, he actually spoke into the camera. He said, listen, if there's anyone out there that needs to talk to anybody, get at me. So, you know, Nate, I will definitely put you in contact with him off camera because that's something, you know, like he's trying to do off the heart because he knows what it is to come home. Yeah. We spoke about it. We don't have any services. Those are the things I'm trying to push and implement with my whole movement. We don't have the help when we come out. I mean, I don't know if you remember, Nate, but when I got released both times from prison, the only type of preparation they gave me was phase 3. Yeah. For 2 weeks. And you know ain't nobody taking that serious.
Yeah, but that all that stuff is outdated, big bro.
Outdated.
Yeah, outdated. Me? Everything they showing in DOC is I feel like they don't want us to get ahead. It's really made for us to come back. Yeah. That's why we don't after we leave, we don't get the proper help out here.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's why a lot of dudes go back or they end up doing nothing.
yeah.
You know, it's like I tell my friends all the time. I know there's a lot of dudes that want to change, but they don't know how. They don't have nobody to talk to even to figure out why they do the things they do. You know what I'm saying? To have somebody to even speak about past trauma to why they behave the way they behave or why they doing the things they do. And I just feel like we need the help. We need we need the we need a platform out there. Like you said, I just heard you say you putting something in the making, but I feel like, for a lot of dudes that's being released, coming home, we just need more help.
Made Up North, Off the Count, a blueprint for successful reentry and
That's
overcoming recidivism. 15 chapters, and each chapter at the end I included what's called the comeback challenge. It's like an exercise, so like after each chapter you read it,
Yeah.
what you read in that chapter is a exercise so you could practice, because obviously I came home the first time, 18 months, I reoffended. I ain't have nobody give me a guide, a blueprint like we talking about. You heard me? They don't give us that. We walk out the door and it's like, yo, figure it out on your own. But deep down inside, they want us to come back. I tell people every time them handcuffs come on us, the prosecutors, judges, COs, Albany, they all get paid at the expense of our freedom.
Yeah.
And that's why we on this platform, I created this platform so you could share your story. Other brothers and sisters can share their story.
Yes.
And we could really help break that cycle, man.
Yes.
Because when you dig deep into it, sadly, Nate, we the ones that's affected the most, black and brown, man.
That's a fact.
Like how did that make you feel being in prison and seeing your brothers, black and brown, the majority, us minorities being in that prison setting? Like that messed me up. That's what birthed my whole movement, bro. When I went back, I was on transit and I saw a lot of people that I was incarcerated with the first one. They was on a new one. And it's like, damn, bro, I'm on a new one. He's on a new one. We got to try to do something to help this change, man.
That goes back to the resource as far as getting out. They put these packages and these books together and they be like, oh, when you get out, you could go here and you could get help and you could get here. And these dudes really go home trying to seek help.
Yeah.
And then when they go to seek help, oh, you need insurance. Oh, you don't qualify for this. What's next?
I was just gonna tell you that. What's next?
What's next after you getting shut down after coming home? So that's why dudes re-enter, because the old me would have been like, fuck that, man. I'm going back to the streets.
Going back to what I know. Of course.
I'm going to get money. But like I said, everything that I went through, every lesson, it shaped me as a man that I am today. It made me who the person I am is today.
That's what's up, man. So, that's what's up, Nate. Like, what's next for you though right now? Like, what you gearing up to do right now? Because I don't know if you remember, Nate, or if you still working on this, or it's still in your future plans. Actually, when we got acquainted a year ago, you was talking to me about trying to put out a book for kids.
Yes.
I don't forget nothing, bro. And another thing I'm gonna highlight right on this platform. So now we have enough time and we can definitely try to make it happen. We gotta stay in contact. Was the Thanksgiving turkey drive? You know, I remember everything we spoke about, bro. The first time, we linked. So what's next for you, right? You still working on those things?
I'm always willing to give back. Like I said, I'm always working. The kids' books. Actually, that was something that I was helping my brother do while he was incarcerated, because that was something he want to give back. So what other way to give back than put knowledge in a book where it starts from a young age?
That's powerful, man. That's powerful, man. You
ain't nobody else going to tell them growing up.
You guys should definitely, you heard, Nate, follow through with that. And, you guys got my support. If there's anything that, I could do to, help in any way, definitely, man. And we going to definitely plan the Thanksgiving thing, man.
Oh, yeah. But it's crazy because we give out turkeys. We try to give out turkeys every year.
Yeah, we're going to follow through with that, with the turkey drive. I know wifey definitely want me to do that too.
Nah, that's cool. Let me know. I got a bunch of dudes. I'll come. I'll support. Whatever you need me to do.
Yeah, and like I said, this platform is always gonna be open, you know, Nate, for you, for all returning citizens.
That's what's up.
And you know, if there's any advice that you can give right now, Nate, like looking into the camera to the younger Nate growing up, to the youth out here, you know, that might be, you know, not might be, that is really misguided.
Yeah.
You know, they need the guidance. Like, what advice will you give your younger self and the youth, Nate?
Be yourself. Don't be a follower. Follow your dream. Do what make you happy. You gotta do what make you happy, because at the end, you gonna end up doing something that makes somebody else happy, and you ain't gonna like that situation. So for me, just do what make you happy. Follow your dream, and just be yourself. Be authentic. Be genuine. You'll get farther in life, and that's really it, big bro.
I mean, I gotta piggyback off that, you know, like 100%. You gotta come out here. I tell my son is 15. You can't follow trends. You can't follow no one. You gotta follow yourself.
Yeah.
Cause following people, you know, and trying to be all mixy, that comes with consequences. Like, I'm sure not everybody may know what conspiracy is, you know. You get caught up in somebody's conspiracy just by being around them, you know, for all the wrong reasons. And so all the brothers and sisters coming home, that's something for y'all to think about. It's just as simple, you know, you affiliating yourself with someone, you know, who's engaging in certain activities that you no longer are part of. Sadly, to the law, they don't want to hear, oh, you ain't know about it. If they go down, you're going to go down with them. And I say that to say this: when you come out here and you make that decision to move forward with your life, to change, to grow, you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that's something that me and my brother Nate were talking about here, because he told me himself he had to distance himself from people, places, and things to become who he is today. Right, Nate?
That's a big fact. You gotta do that, because like I said, you'll end up down the wrong path you don't want to go. A lot of my choices and decisions I made in life was off of trying to be accepted, trying to be down. And when you do those things, you forget who you are, and you get in a jam, and then people forget who you are.
It's true. You just following, getting caught up in the next person's indictment for no reason. You feel me?
No, that's a fact.
How you feel though, Nate, with the whole prison reform? Like, what do you feel like with regards to that? Like, we seen just not too long ago the brother, he just got killed, you know, by the COs. And I tell, you know, Robert Brooks, man, I always tell people, like, you know, that hit me hard, because we used to see that on a daily basis, man.
See, that's the thing that's the thing I feel like sometimes should get exposed, because people think this prison stuff is easy. They think it's a joke. People think prison is a joke when them COs in there, them folks up in there is killing people, man.
On a regular,
killing
you know,
people
firsthand,
with no explanation, no nothing.
Disappearing them in the system. People go check their DIN number. They don't know where they at. You know, like that was just one of the unfortunate stories that the world got exposed to, like you just said. But that was going on, you know, Nate. That goes on the regular, man.
Yeah.
You know, like we going to chow, we going to wreck, people throwing us up on the wall for no reason, man. It's crazy, man. You know?
It's definitely. You got some officers in there. They live a boring life. They have nothing else to do but come to work and you know, make our time harder while we're supposed to be rehabilitating and getting ready to come back to society. It kind of throw you off. So that's why I say always stay strong, stay out the way, and just do what works for you, man.
How long you been home right now, then, Nate?
I've been home going on 2 years and about like 7-8 months.
And how has, you know, the whole experience been for you? You know, like ups, downs.
Man, it's been a roller coaster, but I know at the end it's going to end well. It been, you know, I have my ups, I have my downs. Even when I have my downs, I feel blessed, because where I was 2.5 years ago, it was a dark place. Dark place in my life.
And that's what it's about, man. Looking back to where you were to who you are now, man. You know, I have my days, I have my moments too, you know, that people wouldn't even think about it. You see me on my platform, I always try to be motivating. You know, I breathe that discipline all the way, man. But yo, I'm human, like we said, we human, man. You know, there's days that you feel like quitting.
Yes.
Like, yo, I'm not even gonna do this no more, you know. And I speak about all these things, you know, like in my book, like, but that's when, you know, your discipline and your inner self gotta kick in, and you just say you gotta take a minute to look in that rearview mirror and be like, damn, bro, but thinking about where I was and everything I've came through, I came a long way, man.
You gotta do that. You got dudes that ain't never coming home. You getting a second shot. It's no time to fuck this up, man. It's no time to play around, especially what's going on now. It's no time to play around. You get a second shot, put in that work, man. Do all the things that you didn't do the first time. At least attempt to try. See where it take you. You know, you never know where it'll take you. And
if
like
you
I
don't
said,
try, you're right. You gotta put that first foot forward, though. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
If you never try, you ain't never gonna know where you gonna end up. Like you said, man. You know how when you trying to take it to the next level though with that brand and stuff, like what you trying to do with that next, Nate?
So, like I said, I'm just trying to, you know, drop some jewels on the young on for the culture. It's for the culture. It's for the culture. I look at us as, you know, I'm influenced. If I got people hitting me up and saying, yo, just me waking up and looking on your page be motivating me, because I know where you came from. I know what it took you to get to where you at, and I know it ain't hard. And they know it's hard because they attempt to try it, and it, you know what I mean? So it take a lot, like I said.
Nah, I appreciate, you know, Nate, like I said, you taking the time to come through over here. We definitely gonna have a follow-up.
It's all love. You gotta have me back up here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta bring me back
that's
up
what I'm
here.
saying. We're gonna have a follow-up, you know, in a few months, you know, so we could come back and kick it, and you could definitely let me know how everything is going. And like I said, this platform is for you, it's for us. If you have any other brothers and sisters that you feel have a powerful story that can bring hope, that can show the world that change, growth is possible, man. Like, you know, like you went and took those 7.5 and you better yourself, man. You know, you better yourself. There were certain things that you ain't do or you ain't learn, you know, you ain't have the knowledge of beforehand. And you actually came out smarter and wiser.
I mean, I want to thank some of the brothers that, you know, because sometimes, like I said, people forget about. You got dudes, you got over probably 30, 40,000 inmates up there that people done forgot about. They all from New York or wherever, you get what I'm saying? Might come to New York, get locked up. And I'm blessed that I got around some good brothers that was on a different time. Like, you couldn't come around these dudes on no play or no kitty game or playing with police and doing COs or anything. You know, all these dudes was sharp. I seen that. I wanted that. I never had nobody teach me nothing. So when I see somebody doing something right, that's why I give you your props. When I see somebody doing something right, I want to come through. I want to learn. I want to grow. Teach me, so I could teach my other brothers that's younger than me.
Pay it forward. That's what it's about. Yeah, man. You know, again, I appreciate you stopping by, Nate. And before we even sign off, I want you real quick in the camera, let the viewers, the listeners know where they could find you at, you know, on social platforms so they could stay locked in with you.
Yes. So you can find me at Instagram at The Blueprint Talk. And then my other page on Instagram is RichBum2X. So find me there, lock in. You know, we talking Blueprint Talk, educating the brothers, and you know, I'm learning from my big bro so I could pass it down to the other generation, the younger brothers. And that's really is. Tap in, off the count, make it count. And that's what we doing right now.
That's what's up, man. Love. Listen, man. There you guys have it. Another powerful episode Off the Count podcast in the books. I appreciate the good brother Nate swinging through to share his story of resilience, redemption, and to show the world that yes, indeed, change is possible, growth is beautiful, and prison is not the end. You could come out here and become the best version of yourself, but it all starts with you. There you have it. Make sure you stay locked in. You can follow me on all social platforms at Made Up North NYC and at Off the Count Podcast. Make sure you stay locked in for that new book dropping in a few, and also that coaching programs. Remember, freedom is not just about being out, it's what you do with it. Till next time.